Kaboom! All right, Kenman here, and today's unboxing is exciting. This knife is kind of a long time coming for me. It's been out for a while, but this is actually a new release, kind of a new variant on that model. Here we are. Let's get right to it. Before we start, I am not sponsored by anyone. I purchased this knife at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. Yes, so this knife has been out for a little while. Anybody recognize this kind of white packaging? Where is it from? Yes, we have another Kizer bag on the floor. So, haven't given it away completely yet. Maybe I put it in the title. But yeah, one of the new releases from Kizer, but it's not entirely a new release. It's just kind of a new variant on a model that they already have. I have wanted that particular model for a while, and something about this new one came out, just the timing was right, had the extra funds for it, and boom. Kizer's always got some really great stickers, inspiring, good stuff. Okay, and their normal pouch. Oh, with a big old tear. Got your cloth, your info card. Extra screws. I've got all the screws from all the knives I've bought. Like about 28 bags of these or whatever. You gotta write with a Sharpie or something right on this bag so you know which one it's for. Otherwise it gets to be, would have been chaos. There it is. There it is. Do we recognize it through the bag? Let's get it on out of there. Mini bag. Straight to the floor. Ooh. What do we notice? What do we notice? The definitive characteristic of this knife. Wow, look at that. Excellent stuff. Boom. Today's knife is the Kizer Brat. Woo. I don't know. I'm sorry. What's wrong with me today? Ooh, that grippy section right there. Oh, okay. Kizer Brat. Like I said, I've seen it. I've known about it for a while. This is a new version. The old one was black. I can't remember if the blade material was the same or not. It's about the same price. Either way, here we are. This is their newer version that just came out. And we're looking at a 154 cm black coated blade right there. Nice kind of beautiful looking, simple, clean blade. And then we have the G10 handle, but it is an integral handle. What does that mean? It is one piece. So if we take a look here, that isn't a sandwiched couple of pieces screwed together. It doesn't have nested liners on a couple pieces of G10. This is in fact one single piece of G10. Couple little liner pieces inside there, so you got your screw holding that in. You have your pivot holding that for where the button is. It's a button lock. That feels great. And then the only other hardware would be holding on the pocket clip. Can't swap the clip to the other side. But then if you look at it, very clean. There's no seam along this edge. There's no screws holding any scales on the side or any extra stuff that is basically, in this case, not needed. Boom. Ooh, that feels nice. That's sound. Okay, Brat. G10 154, button lock. Feels good. Oh, yes. Let's just kind of soak this one in. Enjoy my Kizer unboxings. If you do, hit that like button. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. I do have an affiliate with Kizer. I'm very fond of pretty much everything that they do. They make some really nice quality knives. And as a small little knife channel that is not sponsored, basically, Kizer did actually send me, I was sponsored one time. They sent me a drop bear. We can look at that in a comparison in a little bit here. Very appreciative to Kizer, but they are one of those companies where I basically have to buy stuff on my own. And when I buy something, if I like it, then I will continue to check out what else that company has to offer. And if they've got good stuff, I will keep giving them my business. Kizer is a company that I've got. We're starting to get pushing towards 30 Kizers. Okay, so let's go through the old spiel. Jimps for days. That is how Kenman likes a jimp. Very many. Stacked. Huge. I love it. Look at this. Standard kind of hold right here. My thumb stops there. Tons more jimps. Get my index finger out there. I'm still kind of sitting on those. I love a huge rack of jimps like that. It's fantastic. You could kind of choke up here if you needed to do some kind of tight work, but basically it looks like you're going to kind of stay behind there. That's mostly just a little sharpening choil. So it says 154 cm, Kizer logo right there, Brat on this side. Nice and clean, nothing on that handle. That G10 is very well machined, milled, whatever. Like I said, it's one piece, and so they had to go in here and get rid of all of that in there, and then kind of give that contour and that edge across the back. Put this really nice diamond texture that's kind of recessed in the middle. You can hear this, and you can feel it a lot. It has really got a nice kind of grip to it. Almost feels like rough sandpaper or something. Like it really, it's not going to slip through your hands very well. It's a really nice quality for a grip, just like holds it in place, but it's not so aggressive that like it hurts or anything like that. Love those jimps. Blade is, like I said, solid. Good looking stuff. So it is a button lock, so you're kind of relying on the button for the detent. But it actually is pretty tight when it's in there. See if I can push really light and fail one. Usually button locks will have a weaker detent on it. Wow, this one, that's interesting how they've done that, because I really can't push it light. It's like when it breaks and then fires out pretty hard. There is no other option other than pushing the button and just swinging it. So you can do that. It's got a nice sound. Really try to fail here. There we go. If you just try to push it in there, you can kind of get a fail. But it's got enough strength behind it, the natural detent of that button. So, what am I noticing with that? Does it stick out much? The button feels nice. You squeeze it in this hand, it's kind of out of the way. When you squeeze it in your left, you're not really, even if I kind of choke up, I'm not really squeezing on that button to kind of release it. So that's good, because you don't want something where your grip is naturally going to hit it and make it break away on you. It feels really solid. I like a button lock as a lefty. This is a cool looking knife. Just a clean design. Feels good in the hand. This could be a really, really functioning user. Doesn't have as many fidgets on it, because it doesn't really have a fuller, or maybe I don't know if I can get in there to flick that out. You can't really get to it. It's pretty tight in there. It's got that nice, clean, tight line. They could, if there was just a tiny little bit of a fuller on there, I can get my finger to it like you would be able to get a little more action on it. Not like that's necessary for every knife, though. It's got that feel, though. You take it out of your pocket, just boom, fire it out. Do your work with it, make your cut, close it back up, put it away. I might start carrying this one quite a bit because I can't put the clip on the other side, though. It kind of alters a little bit, although the jeans that I usually wear have extra pockets so that instead of having it in my main pocket and having that potential that the blade could kick out and catch you, I've got secondary pockets that I slide my knives into, so there you don't have that much of a concern with if it being on the left or right side carry in that situation. Kind of a, to be honest, the pocket clip, I'm not sure. It might function great. I don't know on that yet, but it seems kind of like it gets wider than most of the other clips that I've got on there. There's kind of most of them are the same, kind of that narrow clip that's got that little pinch in the middle right there. And this one just gets wider, so it kind of has a little more presence to it. Wish it would go on the other side, or they just make lefty version where they would just drill the holes on that side. I get it. This side looks nice and clean. What does everyone think? Anybody have a Brat? Get this new one, or you got the older version? Like I said, I've been looking at the other one for a while, but I think they retail for around $90 at the time that we're talking about it now. Who knows in the future or not? But so it's kind of one of those knives that I don't just instantly pull the trigger and buy, especially if the clip doesn't switch to the left side. That also makes me consider it a little bit more. We are looking just about 8 inches. If I go right on that tip to tip, it really wants to be, but it's just under 8 inches. Blade, 3.5. You could almost say 3 5/8, depending on which kind of angled corner you bring it to. And the cutting surface is a little closer to about 3 1/4, 3 3/8, with a nice little curved belly in the front, nice flat right there. Handle, 4 3/8, almost 4.5. Nice, fairly close to full size knife. This category usually about 11-12 on the blade thickness. We're looking 10. So yeah, it's definitely a thin blade. Might be nice and slicey. And then the handle, probably about 0.54, a little bit thicker probably with that button. It's like 0.6 where the button is and 0.7 where the clip is, but that integral handle is 0.54. I can see how that would be it'd probably easier to make that a little bit thicker since they've got to do all that milling out of that one single piece. Who has an integral? What do they think about it? I think it gives it a kind of a hollow sound, a crisper sound when it opens up. Cool look. It's a cool look. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I have wanted one for a while, and now that it's in my hand, feeling good about it. I kind of had a feeling this was going to be the action. It reminds me of my Amicus, which we will compare it to in a second here, where it's just that simple, no-nonsense button lock that just pretty much works every time. Not too heavy, 3.43. I'll get away from the Kizers for a second. I pretty much always compare everything to the CJRB Pyrites, 3.67. So they are fairly similar in size. It's a little bit lighter than the Pyrite, and it is also larger. But that G10 one piece, getting all the steel out of there, definitely is going to lighten up the load on that size. So if you notice, the Pyrite is not quite a full size, great everyday carry button lock. Just a little bit smaller, maybe a 1/4 inch on the front, 1/4 inch on the back, approximately. It's almost the same size as your Kizer drop bear. This is that drop bear that was sent to me by Kizer. Thanks again, Kizer. But it's about the same size as that Pyrite, so you can see about that 1/4 inch, a little bit more than a 1/4 inch from the front and the back, size difference. Other than that, in a way, kind of a similar knife. The profile of the blade, kind of similar, a little bit more drop. The point drops a little bit more on the drop bear. And the handle is a little bit thinner, a little bit slightly different shape, but similar knife in a way. This one does have that crossbar lock that works, or it's a clutch lock by Kizer. but it's very fidgety, very fun. This is the Amicus that I was talking about. It's the other button lock only kind of flipper tab, and you can see it just basically, it works every time, flips out every time. Also G10, but you can see this is the standard two-piece screwed together. Very similar style. Of course, the Amicus is a little bit smaller. They have some new Amicuses. Is that right? Amicuses? Sure. That they just also released into several different colors, some cool different scales that do have a pattern kind of like this in the middle, but it's more of like a frag, titanium, but like more like a frag pattern like on this titanium, but like in that square. I do like this Amicus quite a bit. Did the die on this. I do a lot of custom projects on the channel. Okay, my favorite Kizer, probably one of my favorite knives, is this mini Kizer K. This one's the titanium with the 154 cm. This is probably literally like one of my favorite knives. It's to choke up the feel on it. I love this size. I love everything about it. This frag feels really nice. And they are pretty much same size in the handle. Little blade's a little bit shorter on the Kizer than on that Brat. But yes, I am happy with this one. Happy with Kizer. Like I said, if you're interested in checking them out, you can use that affiliate link down below. And if you make a purchase, I do get a little kickback for the channel. Appreciate that. Use it to buy some more knives. And yeah, the Kizer Brat, good choice. Probably one of the cheapest integrals out there. It tends to be pretty expensive when you do this process. So to be able to pick one of these up for under $100 with 154 cm blade, it's a win-win. If you're looking for another new one from Kizer, this is that mini grouper. Check it out up there. I'm really loving this. This is the button actuated liner lock. So when you hit the button, it activates that liner lock. Cool stuff, the grouper. But yeah, get yourself a Brat. Stay sharp. I'll see you soon.